All right. Good morning. Good morning. That's funny. Why am I not in full screen? That's interesting this morning. Let's try that. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second edition of the weekly Friday AI webinar workshop bonanza. Bonanza? It's a great word. Bonanza. 13 people jumping on. Michelle, good morning. Mark Padal, great to see you again this week, twice in 1 week, although I don't see you now because I can't, but I see you in my head. I know what you look like. Welcome. Thanks for jumping on. Hey, go ahead. You guys can put in the comments. Make sure everybody can hear me and see me okay. Let me know. And then, hey, Sean Bergen, Tammy, good morning. Good morning. Let me know where you're from, or just say hi and let me know that you're tuning in. And we'll get started here in just a second. Hope you guys are buckled in and ready to go. If you have a favorite AI chat tool like Claude or ChatGPT, go ahead and pull that up on a different screen. Or on your computer if you're watching from your phone. Sean Bergen, Jersey is representing. I love it. I love it. Yes, Jersey's always representing, but I like that Jersey's representing on here since I'm in North Carolina. But I love that. Sue, it is cold today. Isn't that like crazy? We got up this morning and it was like 18 degrees in North Carolina. That's not why I left New Jersey to come to North Carolina so many years ago. It was not for 18-degree days, but we don't have very many of them, but it is cold, super cold. Yeah, Michelle, Mebane, yeah, super cold. Who else is on? D, hello. Sue, Michelle, okay, Tammy. All right, good. Well, last week, if you were on, we talked about our tech stack, right? Our AI tech stack. Hey, Paul Bennett, good morning. We talked about the AI tech stack that we use every day. Britt, you're up early again. Up D, you lost me. You still got me? Phil Blair, good morning. Man, everybody's jumping in. I love it. I love to hear where everybody's from and see where everybody's from. And a lot of you I know, so that's great. Last week we spoke about our tech stack, our AI tech stack. It's the tools that we use every day in our business to do things like create content, build strategy, reorganize strategy, regurgitate it back to ourselves so we can learn things better. We talked about Notebook LM. We talked about Gemini, Claude. We even talked about Gamma for a few minutes. Then we talked about Journey Builder, which is a great tool, if I may say so myself. And and it was really good. It was a really good way to kick off the workshop because everybody, I feel like, is using AI in some form or fashion. We do know that most people are using it kind of as a glorified search engine, right? They're using it more as like, instead of going to Google, I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to ask it this question because I don't want to weed through millions of responses or even the first page of responses from Google. Just give me the answer. And you've even noticed now that Google and Gemini recently have been, when you ask or you search for something, even on Google, Google is now giving you an AI result at the top so that you don't have to go visit all these web pages, right? Well, who does that hurt from a digital marketing standpoint? All the people who have worked really, really hard to get their web pages on the first page of Google, right? On search engine optimization, which you still need, but now there's things like AI optimization, right? How do you become the business that's in that little box at the top of the Google responses? And it's all about putting out good quality content, right? Well, we talked about making content and we talked about, how to talk to it, but what we're really going to focus on today is, I'm a firm believer that prompting AI matters a lot. What you say, what you ask is going to determine the results you're going to get. Now, I'm going to also add in a little bit of a caveat here. I'm going to answer questions on Reddit. Sue, great answer too. Sue just said answer questions on Reddit. That's a good way to get into that little box. It's not just answering questions on Reddit. It's actually answering questions anywhere there's question and answer site, including your website. Reddit is a good one. Facebook is a good place if people are chatting. Quora is a good one. Anyway, we could talk about that for sure. Raging Cajun, my friend Brian Olson. Hey, welcome. Thanks for watching on YouTube. But prompting does matter, but yet prompting doesn't really matter that much. And then you're like, well, Jay, what are we going to talk about over the next hour and a half if prompting doesn't really matter? Right. So I'm going to tell you the difference of why I think it does matter. And then I'm going to talk about why it doesn't. So we're going to learn kind of both sides of the coin. It is really important to write or know how to write a good prompt, because if you put garbage in, okay, you're going to get garbage out. Okay. So if you're, and I'm going to show you some of that today as well. So we're going to talk about, that, and then we're going to kind of then come back around and say why it doesn't really matter that you become an expert prompter, right? So don't spend a ton of time learning more. Just knowing the fundamentals of how to write a good prompt will help you. But the AI chat agents themselves, they know what you're asking, right? They know what you're asking. But there are some things that you need to do when you're writing a prompt to get the results you want faster, right? It's kind of like, yeah, we can do it in an infinite number of ways. And if you're wondering what prompting is, just literally what you're asking AI to give you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to, first I'm going to go to my notes so I don't skip anything that I want to show you here. Here we go. So we're going to talk, I'm going to share my screen here. And I have Claude up, and Claude knows me very, very well. They know that it is before 11 a.m. That likely for me, it's coffee and Claude time. That's pretty cool that Claude always does it. Claude always has some neat things. If you guys aren't using Claude, it's okay. ChatGPT, totally fine. Claude, my favorite. Gemini, my favorite for other things. Perplexity, my favorite for something else. By the way, now would be a great time to tease next week's webinar. Next Friday's webinar, same time, 10:30 a.m. I'm going to talk about all of those. I'm going to talk about ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity. We'll probably talk a little bit about Grok. We're going to compare and contrast. Which tool do I use? Why do I need it? Do I need to pay for it? What's good about it? What's bad about it? So anyway, there's my little tease. Dick, welcome. Dan, welcome. Just seeing you guys jumping on as well. Actually, RC or Heather, if you can just throw a link in to register for next Friday's workshop. Go ahead and throw that in there. Don't worry about it now. We'll put it in a couple more times. They can put it in now if you guys want to copy and paste it and register. Devin, welcome. So one of the things that we're doing is every week when you register for one of these webinars, it triggers some automations using our Journey Builder system, which is an awesome system for automation. And it just so we can go back and say, this person registered for this webinar and then this one. So even if you want to come every week, you should register for each one separately, just so we can know, like we can send a replay out, or if we have certain questions. So that's something that we're going to be doing. The other thing as we go here is we're going to be putting in a suggestion box. It was a great suggestion that I got today, was to do a suggestion box. So today, if there is something that you're thinking about, or something I say and you're like, I would love to learn so much more about that part of AI, go ahead and put it in the comments today. Just put in the comments topics that you would like to learn about. And Heather and RC, well, actually, I'm going to have RC. These are my team. Heather and RC are imaginary people to you right now, but they're here. They're backstage with me. And RC is going to jot down and keep notes of all the suggested topics that we get today for future workshops. Although we have like the first 8 of them planned out already. I will say that next week is the comparison, and the week after that, I'm going to be joining you guys likely from a hotel room in Dallas, Texas. And we'll be doing an Ask Me Anything, and we'll be just working on your business in real time. We're going to workshop it. So I'm not going to have a pre-planned training. It's just going to be a time to come on, ask me questions, and let's try to work on your business together for an hour and a half. So we'll try to help you with your prompts and tools and things like that. That's 2 weeks from today. All right, back to the prompting. All right, most prompts fail in quotes. No prompt truly fails, but fails to give you exactly what you want because they lack the specific instructions. So AI needs the same guidance you would give, say, a human intern, right? Let's say you're training somebody and you want to give them a task to do. The AI works the same way. We want to give it a task to do, right? So here's the first example that I'm going to do today. I'm going to say, write me an email for my business. Now, I'm going to say something here. I'm going to switch to Sonnet. If you guys were on last week, you knew what we were. I told you guys the difference a little bit about changing the different models. Opus is going to, not only would Opus like write an email for the business, they turn it into a Google Doc for us. And I don't need all that. Sonnet's just going to give us a quick answer. So write me an email for my business. Now, Claude knows a lot about me, so it might come up with some things, but it's a very generic instruction. If I just went to an intern and I said, write us an email for our business, the intern's going to have a lot of questions. Right? Now, it knows that Journey Builder is my business, my software. And what it's going to say here is, I'd be happy to write an email for Journey Builder to make sure I nail the right tone and message. Could you tell me more about who it's going to? What's the main goal? Once I know this. So Claude is smart enough to say, I can write you this email, but I don't know what the heck you want the email to be about. Right? So now it's got other questions. And if I went to a human and I said, hey, write us an email for our company, that human's also going to say, what do I write it about? Who is it going to? What are we offering? Right? So what we really want to do is, instead of using generic and unusable prompts here, we are going to actually, I've got it copied already. All right. We can answer these questions and eventually we'd get to an email. But if I just came in and I said, I run a local moving company called 2 Men and a Truck in Greensboro, North Carolina. Write a follow-up email for someone who requested a quote but hasn't responded in 3 days. The tone should be friendly, but create gentle urgency. Keep it under 100 words. End with a clear call to action to schedule their in-home estimate. Here's our booking link, and then put in the link. You see the difference in that prompt, right? Now, if you told anybody that, and they knew how to write an email, you're in good shape. So let's see what that gives us. Instead of all these questions that you're asking for follow-up and clarifying questions, here's what we're going to get. Here we go. Didn't ask me a million questions. It went and got to work. Subject line, still planning your move? Let's get you scheduled. Hi, name. Wanted to follow up on the moving quote you requested a few days ago. We know how hectic moving can be, and we're here to make it easier. Our schedule is filling up fast for the coming weeks, and I'd hate for you to miss your preferred moving date. Can we set up a quick in-home estimate? It only takes 15 to 20 minutes, and you'll get an accurate quote with no surprises. Schedule your free estimate here, and you have the link there. Looking forward to helping you move. Your name, 2 Men and a Truck, Greensboro. So you see the difference. If you do a bad prompt, you give it garbage or a bad prompt, like I said, there really truly isn't a bad prompt because you're going to get to the answer. But look at the time we saved. When I asked it, the first thing I asked it, Claude was like, I've got questions, right? Just like any human would. I've got questions, right? But when we give it all the details up front, we get the answer a lot quicker. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a framework, and it's called the C.L.E.A.R framework. It's an acronym, C.L.E.A.R, right? And Heather, if you don't mind, by the way, thank you. Next week's webinar registration will be open after this webinar is over. You're right. Actually, I'll double check on that, but I think it is available. But we'll get the link out at the end for sure, and don't worry about that. What I want, Heather, I'm going to have you as I go through the C.L.E.A.R framework. Just make sure you can put some notes into the comments for everybody, just so it's in there as we go. That would be wonderful. All right. So let's talk about the C.L.E.A.R framework and what that means. So the reason we teach this framework and the reason we try to use this framework is because I might not remember every time I go to write a prompt all those details that I need. Now, it's not the end of the world if you don't. If you're very descriptive in what you're asking the AI to do and you're giving it all the details, it's going to give you the answers. But this is just an easy way to remember what they are. And as a matter of fact, I believe, I double check here, I can share this for you. Back, hold on a second. I have this ready to go. I pulled this up before. I have a slide that I can share with you real quick. All right. So here's our formula for prompting. And if you guys have questions as we go, just let me know. We'll be able to help and answer those questions. So if you want to remember every time, just remember C.L.E.A.R. So the first thing is the context. Who are you? What is the situation? Tell me a little bit about your business. And in our prompt, it was, I run a local moving company, right? That's the context. So immediately the AI knows, okay, we're going to be writing an email for a local moving company, right? Then, and be as descriptive as you want. Like, it's called 2 Men in a Truck, or, you know, Heather's Moving Service, or whatever you want to do there. And you can tell kind of the situation of what you're looking for, right? The L, you're going to want to put in kind of some of the format that you want, right? Email, here's some things I want to cover. Here's, I want it under 100 words, right? So I want it short. You could also say, I want it a really long one, right? D, yes, registration will be available on Alignable as well. Cool. I'm gonna try to answer some questions in real time. Okay, so the E is for examples. We're gonna feed the AI a style to mimic, right? So we're talking about a tone, right? Like the friendly but create gentle urgency, right? Warm, witty. You could even do sarcastic. You could even talk about a style. I want to write it in the style of, great, I should have come up with somebody. John Maxwell, who I'm actually lucky enough, I'm going to get to speak at the same event as John Maxwell this April. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be in Searcy, Arkansas at Scale with Stability Summit. But you can write it in John Maxwell's style. I don't know that John writes his own emails at this point either. He probably has his team do that. I got a team too. But yeah, like the tone should be friendly, but create gentle urgency. So give it a style to mimic, right? Some examples that you want to use. You could write it in the voice of someone, right? Someone famous. Or you could train the AI on your own style and give it some of your own. If you have videos, if you have emails, if you have things like that, you can actually train AI on your style. Make sure you're writing this in my voice, you could say, right? Then the A is for the audience. Who's going to get the email? Who's going to read it, right? So is it homeowners age 35 to 55? Is it people within a specific city? What is the audience that's going to see that? So again, the email audience for here is somebody who in their automation, we realize that they haven't responded to an estimate that they requested in 3 days. So that's our audience. Okay. And the R is for the result. What do you want them to do? This is your call to action. This is your specific outcome that you want. And we wanted them to book an in-home estimate, right? So that's what we're getting at is, that call to action, right? We have tons of call to actions, right? You're gonna have calls to action on this webinar, like book a free 15-minute coaching call with me, right? Or join our Facebook group, right? Because it's the only two things I have to sell anyone on my value webinars. But yeah, everything we do should in our businesses should have some next step, right? We should always be thinking about what is the next step? What's the next step in our funnel? What's the next step in our process? What do we want these people to do? When you write an email to anyone, maybe it's, hey there, hope you're doing well. Cheers, Bob, right? I'm probably not going to write the email that does that. But maybe it's, hey, how's it going? Haven't heard from you in a while. I hope things are going well. Let me know if you want to catch up, or let me know if you want to chat, or let me know if you need a quote, or there's always going to be that call to action, especially in a business email. Why are we sending business communications outbound if we're not really trying to elicit a reaction or solicit a reaction? You also are likely, unless you're just responding to someone else's email, then you might. But if you're going to create the interaction, you're looking for at least a reply, right? Please reply and let me know how that worked out for you, right? So I hope that all makes sense. And now we're going to go into some more of a deep dive of it. And what I want to do here is I'm going to go back over to Claude. All right, I'm going to start a new chat. Actually, I might, yeah, no, I could keep doing it in here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you guys a scenario, and after I do this one, I want to help somebody here in real time. I want somebody that's watching this webinar live. I want you to think about a scenario. We're going to actually build a prompt for you on this call. So I'm going to give you a real example now, or a made up example now. And then I want to do a real example live for somebody on here, right? So here's the scenario that I'm going to work with for this one. The scenario is a family photographer needs a nurture sequence for their CRM, right? So a nurture sequence, let me go back. If you guys don't know, it's okay. But you want to create a sequence to move people through your funnel. Everybody should have a funnel. Funnel is just like, top of funnel, where your new leads and prospects are coming into your business, right? And then you want to nurture them down through the funnel till you get a sale, right? So this person is a photographer. They specialize in family photos, portraits, and they have a CRM system, a customer relationship management system, and they want to build out a series of automated emails to move people through. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, I use Journey Builder for my CRM. Actually, you know what? I think I have this. I can copy it. I'll copy it and read it to you just for time here. And I'll talk to you about each part of it as we go. Copy, paste. Here we go. I use Journey Builder for my CRM. Help me write a 3 email nurture sequence for leads who downloaded my free guide but haven't booked a call. Okay, there we're starting with the R. We're starting with the result. Okay, this is for and it's not necessarily your audience here, right? Because your audience is going to be who you're trying to actually tackle, but the sequence is going to be, the automation is going to be a follow-up to people who got your download, right? Like we have a moving calculator, moving estimate generator, where people can put it on their website and get moving leads, residential moving leads. And so like maybe somebody, got this free quote or this free estimate, but they haven't booked an appointment for the moving company to go out and give them an actual final quote and get the job sold, right? To close the deal. So that would be the result. So the point I'm showing is it doesn't have to go in order as long as we tackle everything. All right. My business, I'm a family photographer in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? So that's a little bit of context about the business, right? You could also say my business name is, let's see, who can I use here? D's photography, family photography, something like that. The audience here, again, the audience is also people who are leads who downloaded the free guide but haven't booked a call. But the audience that we've targeted, our ideal audience, and people that are likely the people that downloaded the free guide, just so that we can get the audience right. Moms with kids under 10 who want professional family photos. Right? Does it make sense? So far, I don't know why I ask a question for like a real call to response. You guys, I can't hear you. So make sense? Sure, Jay. Okay, good. Got it. The tone, warm, friendly, not salesy, right? So those are all good. I actually just, that's funny. I got something coming up here. So when I ask the next time, we'll have something good for that. Okay. So warm, friendly, not salesy is our context and our style, right? And then that's also kind of a second part of with the business and the like an example, right? And then we have our length, our L, our length would be for each email, give me a subject line, preview text, and body copy under 150 words, right? So now, could you just create this yourself using that? Yeah. Would it have to be perfect? Could you rewrite it? Could you restructure it? Could you actually say, I need a 3 email sequence in the following format: context, context, length, examples, audience, result, right? Yes. But in this, it makes sense. It's how we're asking for the information, right? So here's what we're going to do then. I'm going to go ahead and send this over. And here we go. So here's a 3 email nurture sequence for a family photographer. Tells you the email 1 should be value and connection on day 1. Did you get a chance to read the guide? Preview text, and you have like the subject line and a preview text. I'm not going to read through all of these. Plus, my favorite tip for stress-free photo sessions with little ones. That speaks exactly to the audience, and it's curiosity driven to get them to open, right? That's really what we want. We want them to open the email. And then the next one is going to focus on social proof and tips. Sarah's family photos turned out adorable. Want to see? Here's what she told me after the session. It's like you're getting the like, ooh, what did she tell you after the session, right? So the we always say, and this isn't really a workshop on how to write a good email, but it kind of is, I guess, but using AI. It's every time you send an email, the goal of the subject line or the preview text is to get the open, right? You want them to open the email because a lot of times emails won't get open. All right. And Dick, I see your example, and we're gonna work on that in just a minute. Thanks for putting it in the comments. So here's what she told me after their session, right? You feel like you're gonna get the scoop, right? A secret. And then email 3 would be day 7, ready to freeze this stage in time. By the way, I love that subject line. I would give that to any photographer that does family. But like if this was like real, I would love. That's a really good subject line. Your kids won't be this little forever. Let's chat, right? Playing on the fact that kids grow up really, really fast hits parents everywhere. Everywhere. I'm thinking about it in my own head now. Like Mackenzie is getting bigger and bigger every day. But then we got the email. It gives it, and they're all really good. And I love the voice. I love the way it writes. But it didn't have to get more information. We didn't have to give more information, right? We didn't have to answer any questions. We told it what we wanted, and it gave us the emails. Now, could we say, ooh, change this here, or we don't want this here, or I'd rather do this? Sure, you can always go back and iterate and say, rewrite it with this, I don't like this thing or whatever. Sure, you can do that, but it's all about like getting in, getting it done, getting it back out, right? So we have somebody from India on here today too. That's very cool. Awesome. Welcome. All right. So I told you guys before I was going to ask if everybody's getting it. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're still here and still with me and are having a good time and learning something here. And in the meantime, I found that thing that I'm going to do while I wait for that. Let's do this. This is so silly. All right, cool. How we doing? Everybody? Good? Want to learn AI? Well, you're in the right place. Yes, Mark's still with me. All right, I hope I'm not putting anybody to sleep. Britt, exclamation point. Love it. Okay, cool. All right. So, absolutely thumbs up, Dan. All right, good. I'm glad we're still doing good. So, Dick just wrote in. Dick O'Donnell's a friend here of mine. He's in the Triad area. And I would love to use Man in Green. I want to tell you, I got to give you a little bit of a background here on this. Man in Green on VoIP companies, which is voice over IP companies that have the cable company, phone company, or big voice over IP company. But we want them to buy local with people that they know, like, and trust. KLT. The only reason I know all these acronyms is because Dick and I are in a networking group together, and I know what he's writing here. So, and I think he knew that. You're probably paying too much with taxes and unnecessary fees. Do you have to call an 800 number to call customer support? Those are the people he wants to let people know that he wants them to do business with him locally, that there's no big 1-800 number to call, etc. So let's try to put that in here now. Okay. Let me remove this from here. All right. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will keep it up here just so you guys can all see it. Let's write a new email. All right. So we're going to say use, and this is something you can do as well. So use the C.L.E.A.R method. And let me just make sure that I give it, and you wouldn't have to do this necessarily. I'm just doing it to show you guys this. All right, use the C.L.E.A.R method. And then, all right, so the context, who you are. So I am affectionately known as the man in green, my business. And if you guys know Dick, and there are several people on here who do know Dick O'Donnell, he literally almost every day out of the year, just head to toe, is in green, right? His car is wrapped in green. Everything's green. And I think it was like St. Patrick's Day is the one day he doesn't wear green, or Halloween and St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, he's probably saying it now, but you guys can't hear. So, all right. And let's see. We are looking to get more clients for our VoIP service. All right, so that's a little bit about context, right? We want to point out, this is our format and length. We want to point out that you should do business locally with people you know, like, and trust. We don't want you to have to ever call a 1-800 number to get great service. All right, so basically that's we could go on and on. I can get go deeper here, but the email should be under 300 words, right? Because it's more of an introduction, so it's going to have to be a little bit longer. And then the AI style to mimic the example. I think you could do that kind of as the tone. So we would just say, keep it fun, professional, warm, and a bit witty. The audience will be, I would say, maybe IT directors. And Dick, I don't know, I'm just going with this for now. IT directors and solo entrepreneurs. Could be two different audiences and two different, different emails for this, but we're just for purposes of this, I'm going to do that. Solo entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, as we like to call them. If I spelled that wrong, I think I did. Is it EUR? Is that right? I think that's right. I don't know why I'm asking again. All right. And the result, right? The specific outcome that we want would be we want the reader to respond to this email and have a chat, or we could do anything here. We could send them to this web page, but respond to the email to begin a conversation, right? That's what I'll put. All right. And I'm going to go back here. I'm going to say this. My name is Dick O'Donnell. N-N-E-L-L. Okay. So it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't exactly always matter the order in which you put things, or how you write it. I could have written that 100 different ways. And it's fine. So here we go. Subject line: tired of pressing 1 for English? There's a better way. Boom. That's a really good subject line. I like that subject line. Preview text: local VoIP service. I know it's called VoIP, right? Voice over IP service. Real people, no phone trees. Right? So those people that are frustrated of getting, press 1 through 7 only to turn out to ask for a representative anyway, or press 0, right? How many times do we do that? And they want to get, local service, right? That's a good subject line. Hi, so-and-so, Dick O'Donnell here, AKA the man in green. Long story, but the nickname stuck. Now we would change that, right? If Claude knew exactly you and who you are, you might not say that. You might even be able to put in like a little picture of you or something. You could keep the long story, but whatever you want there. Quick question: when was the last time your phone service provider actually answered when you called? And I don't mean navigate, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing: your phone system is the lifeline. When something, dial 1-800 number. Now, this is interesting too, because we're talking about voice over IP to people who are using voice over IP. But it's a really good email here. And the PS here: hit reply and let's talk. What's your biggest frustration with your current phone provider? Cheers. PS, seriously, call me. I actually answer. Like this is pretty good. I will send it to you, Dick, so don't worry about it. But a good start. Didn't have a lot of extra questions. We gave it all the stuff it needed, and we can move on. Right? Is that helpful? I'm going to give you guys another example here. Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's do this. We're going to talk about, let's see. We're going to talk about like when to iterate and common mistakes. If it asks, the good news is, now you have a prompting format you can use, right? You can use the C.L.E.A.R format. What I also mentioned at the beginning was, and this is kind of a pro tip, you can create in Claude, you can create a project. You can give it the instructions of what that format was, right? So I said use the C.L.E.A.R method earlier here, right? And I told Claude this is the C.L.E.A.R method, right? And put it in there. Now, if you're doing this, you don't have to tell the AI what you want. You could just say, here's the C.L.E.A.R method, right? But I did it just so we could remember. And then we put it in. So here's just a trick. And this is why I said you don't really have to be good. I need you to create a prompt for my email that would use the C.L.E.A.R method. Okay. Now, C.L.E.A.R method email prompt template. I could probably give this to you guys. Copy and paste the prompt, then fill in each section. So what you could do here is you can take exactly this right here. Okay. You could copy this. Actually, let me put it in here. It's going to be a long comment, but I'm going to put it in here. I don't know how it's going to look either. Yeah, it's breaking it up a little bit. So, all right. What you can do is you can literally copy this into ChatGPT, into Claude, into any of the tools you want, Grok, Gemini. copy this right here, and then fill in the brackets, right? So instead of having to come up with the prompt, you can just always have this template and say, literally paste this back in. Copy, paste this into your chat, and then fill these in. Somebody, the first person in the chat, give me the name of their business. Anybody but Dick, who we just did an example for. First one I see, I'm gonna do it. And second and third one I see, I'll do it later for you and send it to you. And it takes about 15 seconds once you put in the business for it to pop up for me. Sprinkle Business Solutions. Perfect. You got it, D. Dan, I'll make sure I do one for you. Michelle, I'll make sure we do one for you. I'm going to start with D. It's the first one that came up on mine. So Sprinkle Business Solutions. All right. All right, D, I don't know everything about your business. So give me a quick overview. Is it like it's virtual assistant stuff, isn't it? If I remember correct. Yeah. So I think she's a virtual assistant. Okay, I thought so. Okay. So virtual assistant services. All right. Oh, I thought I was typing there. So, but you see what I'm doing, right? So all I had to do was actually say, Claude, give me the prompt, and then let me fill in the blanks, right? And then you paste that in, you fill in the blanks, and then you send it. Okay, Meg, if you're trying to do that, like this prompt, we will send it out to you. Actually, let's do this. Heather, if you can, create a quick Google Doc, share, just open Google Doc, paste in the prompt. I'll put it in the chat for you. There's this written email. Hold on a second. No, it's not gonna. Oh yeah, there we go. I'll put it in, and then you can share it. You just put the link in here to share it with everybody. Let me copy this. I'll put it in the private chat for us and see if it works. Yeah, that should work. So, all right. So we're working on it right now, and everybody will get it. In just a minute, you'll get a link to a Google Doc that Heather will put in the comments, and then you'll be able to take that prompt and copy and paste it into whatever tool you want to use. And then all you have to do is fill in the brackets and hit enter, right? So, okay, so virtual assistant services for small business. All right, the situation, why you're writing it, what is going on, why you're writing the email. So I want to say, introducing myself and my service. We're gonna keep it word count, keep it brief. So again, you don't have to give it an actual number there, numeric. You could just tell it, you don't want it to be really long. Format preferences, I'm going to say multiple short paragraphs. Okay, include, yeah, we definitely want all of this. So here's another trick. My thing is, so if you want to include subject line, preview text, PS, CTA, button copy, all you need to do is take out the brackets. You could take out the CTA button too if you want. That's call to action button. You're going to include and take out the question marks, but instead of just typing all that. Subject line. I got my little AI Grammarly type of thing, Linguix working there. Preview text and a PS. Okay. Examples. I like professional but warm. Actually, I know D. We're going fun and witty. All right. And you can just take this out. Okay. Voice, expert advisor. That's good. So I'm going to take this out. And D, if you would do different things, obviously, it's up to you. Any specific phrases, approaches, or brands to emulate? D, if there's something that you would say often, or you have kind of a tagline, or a way that you introduce things, then you could put that in here. I'm gonna leave style notes out of this one for right now, and I'll just put it. See if I can let me delete out. There we go. We'll just leave that part out. Who is reading this? So we're gonna say small business owner in the financial area, accountant. I don't know. I don't. CPA. Right. Their situation, what they care about, pain points. Can't afford a full-time employee, but need help getting things done. Isn't that every small business owner? And then their relationship to you, it would be a new lead, but it could be a past client, could be something. And then the result, book a call would be the primary goal, right? Would be a good one. So click here to book a call. I would just say book a call there too, but it's all right. Click here to book a call. Secondary goal could be, follow me on, or actually, you know what? This would be a good one. Check out our Facebook group for tips, productivity tips or something, right? If you had that, right? By the way, we have a Facebook group. Heather will put it in the chat, and it's AI for small businesses, right? So we have this group, right? AI for small businesses, and we post like links to this video, and we've got videos like from our past webinars. We'll have a library of content that will be in that group. So, oh, Heather, you only got the C and the L. Okay, my bad. Hang on one second. Got it. I see what you're saying here. All right, I'm going to run this and then I'll give it to you and then we'll get that Google Doc to everybody. All right. So we filled in all the stuff, right, from the prompt, but we let Claude just give us the clear prompt, right? So you can use this forever now. And again, ChatGPT. I don't know about Perplexity if you want to do that, but ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, all these AI chat tools, you could do this in any of them. Like I mentioned last week, Claude is hands down, far and away, like the one that I go to for everything. It's my favorite. It's my number one most used tool. I don't use it for like some content creation, like images, like visual images. I use Gemini and Notebook.LM. I think Google is leading the race in visual content, but for strategy and writing, all day long. But here we go. Drowning in admin work, we should talk. Virtual support without the full-time price tag. Let's free up your time. Hi, name. Let me go. Okay, right. So we've got this, and then that's it. Like we could put in the link, the name, right? I could have put D in here. There you go. There's a tagline if you don't have that, D. Making your workday a little sweeter. Sprinkle business solutions, like sprinkle in a little bit of sweetness. I think it's great. But anyway, there you go. So that's that. So again, I said, does it matter that you can write a good prompt, or, you know, and that you know how to be an expert prompter or not? And I kind of said at the beginning, maybe, maybe not. You can ask AI to give you the prompt and then just fill in the blanks, right? But if you have this framework, the C.L.E.A.R framework, you can use that. And now I'm going to give Heather the rest of what I told her I was going to do here. So you got all the, let's see, I see what you got. Length format, multiple short paragraphs. Yeah, you didn't even get all of the L. So let me take the L out. I'll give you the L here. Sorry guys, real time, just hang with me. I wish I had some like Jeopardy music, but I want to make sure that you all get this and that Heather gets it properly to make this Google Doc for you. All right, there's the L. Here's the E. All right, let's grab the A. For the audience, and the R for result. Copy, paste. All right, awesome. So right now, Heather's going to work on the putting that into a Google document, and then she will share the link here in the comments in just a minute. And here we go. Let's see. Oh, Jay, please check the private chat. Okay, cool. All right, so there we go. You got the, also she posted the Facebook group for Jay, the AI guy, which is where we have, you know, we're sharing stuff, and we're always happy to answer questions and ask questions. Can my team do me a favor? Thanks, Meg. Can my team do me a favor and just make sure that we reach out and do this for Dan and Michelle? I don't know, Dan and Michelle, you guys might be okay now to just take this prompt and fill in the blanks for what you're looking to do. All right. So Dan, Wizenhunt Coaching and Consulting, and then Michelle with Sunbird Travel and Events. If you let me know if you still need that, but we'll give you this document and then you just fill it in. You tell it what you want to do. Now, also don't be afraid to say, I need you to create me a 3 email sequence or a 5 email sequence, or create me a series of social media posts, right? This doesn't have to just be email, right? You can use it for, anything that you want written, right? I actually want to do, let's do this. I'm going to send you guys some really good notes here for this, but I want to show you kind of one more example. Actually, better yet, I'm going to show you guys something really fun. I'm going to go out of Claude for just a minute. And I'm going to come into Gemini. Okay. And I'm going to paste, let me go back to Claude real quick. I'm going to show you guys. You guys are going to like this. I hope you will. I trust that you're going to love this. And then I'm happy to answer some questions because we're kind of running down to the end here. Check this out. We're going to create an image, right? So I've got Nano Banana. If you guys were on last week, you know, I talked about Nano Banana, and I know they don't really call it that anymore, but I will always call it Nano Banana because it's fun to say Nano Banana. All right, fair enough. All right, check this out. I'm going to paste in our C.L.E.A.R format, right, into the chat, right? And I'm just going to put in Journey Builder, CRM, and automation software, right? Brief description, all right. Help business owners. And you guys are going to be like, wait a minute, creating an image? Yeah, so we're going to create an image, but we're still going to give it the C.L.E.A.R prompt because we want to describe to the AI tool everything about our business. So when it creates the image, it can look good. Now, there's also image prompting tools and frameworks that we can talk about, but I just want to show you how you can use the C.L.E.A.R prompting framework. As a matter of fact, you know what? For save time, why don't I just do this? I'm going to come back over to Claude. I'm only going to do this for just to save time here. Take this out. All right. So this is going to be who's seeing this. So we have to go through and we're not going to write an email. So we're going to create the image, which you don't have to say here. All right. Because I already chose to create an image, but who you are, everything else can stay the same. We're introducing myself and my service, but here for the word count, you can take length and format. You could just say, you could take out word count. Actually, you can leave word count. I'm going to leave it because it's going to put wording on the text. Format preferences, not multiple short paragraphs. You're going to want to say like photographic image or illustration. Let's say illustration, right? Because it's more of an image format. Obviously, we don't need to include subject line or preview text or PS, but what you could do is you could say include headline at the top, right? And then tone, fun, and witty. Voice, here's another thing. You could say colors and put in your business colors. Let's say blue and green. All right. Who's reading it, their situation, and primary goal. All of this can stay the same. So we're going to use the C.L.E.A.R. Let's see what kind of an image it can generate using this. Loading Nano Banana Pro. They still do call it Nano Banana Pro. Most of the time they tell Gemini now is what they say. We're adding more visitors as we go. I like this. Structuring the illustration, right? Now, Claude can do like documents, Word documents, PDFs. Here we go. Look at this. Look at that. Sprinkle some magic on your finances. Hi, I'm your new secret weapon from Sprinkle Business Solutions. Click here to book a call and get help. P.S. Check out our Facebook group for productivity tips. And it's like email management, calendar scheduling, data entry, right? So yes, you can use the C.L.E.A.R prompting framework to do things other than just writing an email or writing social media posts. You can use it to create an entire website or all the website content you want, right? So hold on, I have to do, let's see here. Oh, Heather, did you put that in the comments too? Because I know you wrote it in the, yeah, you did. So Heather posted that Google Doc for you with the framework. And let's see. Cool. All right. Please put this on the Google Doc. So do you want the Nano Banana one? I'm not sure. So cool. Love it. Okay. Awesome. Great comments coming in. Yeah. You can use it for anything you want. Use this framework. And you don't have to say, use the C.L.E.A.R framework. Here's the C, here's the L. But if you copy and paste that prompt I gave you, that's already in there. leave it alone. Just fill in the blanks, fill in the brackets, right? Replace the brackets with your brackets and tell it what you want to do, and it can do it. So I'm going to show you one other thing, because last week, in addition to, Nana Banana and coming up with a great image in my colors and all the stuff that I wanted here for D, I should have asked you what your colors were. I think this would be a perfect graphic. I probably didn't get your colors right, but anyway, I hope you get the point and you'll now and go do it. The instructions that I wrote for the illustration to the Google Doc. All right. Yeah, there was only a few things that I changed. Let me see, because I did say I wanted an illustration. Yeah. All right. Let me do this. Copy. Heather, do I have access to edit your Google Doc? You can't really answer me. But it looks like I'm going to request edit access now. But if you can give me access. All right, we're going to get you that. I'm going to put it below. I'm going to say image prompt. So, yep, I got it. Okay. Let's see. Reload. Here we go. So what I'll do, same prompt for an image. I put it in there, but the one that it is, it's D's, right? So it's the one that's on the document that I just put is for D, because I talked about who the target is, but you guys know, you can look at what you need to change. I'm gonna put it on the second page here. So I just put it in the Google Doc for you. So it's in there. And then I'm going to do the exact same. Actually, anybody have any other questions? Let me look at questions and answer questions. I think it's a lot of stuff in this workshop. The point is, don't be hard on yourself, but also don't be vague. Always think of it. Dick, I didn't even ask what your colors were. You're funny. That is funny. The thing to remember is what I told you at the beginning. Imagine that you're working with a human virtual assistant or a human intern or a human employee, apprentice, digital marketing expert, whoever you've got to tell somebody what to do. You have to give it instructions. And if you give it garbage instructions, you're going to get garbage out. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to kind of show my point a little bit more, because if you remember when we first started this workshop way back when in an hour ago, the first thing I said was write me an email for my business. Okay. Now, if I open up a new chat, and I say, write me an email for my business. Now, if we remember, Claude will ask us a bunch of questions, right? And if we told a human to write us an email for our business, the human is going to likely have all these questions to ask, right? But if I say, don't worry about the details, just write an email for my business. The AI and the human have no idea. So what it might do is it might say, all right, I'll take a stab at it. Or it may push back and say, no, I don't know. It's going to write it. Okay, here you go. All right. So this is great. This proves my point exactly here. Stop juggling 10 different tools. There's a better way. All right, cool. If you know anything about Journey Builder, you know that we replace about 30 different business tools, from document sign to websites to SEO to image creation to social media to CRM to automation. Like we replaced a lot of stuff. So anybody that I was saying, if I'm imagining I'm talking to a new intern or new assistant on the team, they could see that. They could go to our website and figure out that part. And when I run this, oh, is it still showing Gemini, Heather? Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry guys. Thank you, Heather. So I went back into Claude. I said, write me an email for my business, and it asked me all the questions that it did at the beginning. All right. Not able to see it. Thanks, Mark. I got it. Everybody should be now seeing Claude again. So we're good. I appreciate that for saying that. So when I say, we'll go back to the beginning, write me an email for my business, it gives us all these questions because it needs to know what we're writing about. But I said, don't worry about the details. Just write an email for my business. I'm giving it garbage, right? It came out with an okay email, but it's not very specific to who I'm specifically writing to, what I actually want it to do, right? Sounds cool. Book a quick demo and I'll show you how Journey Builder can simplify your marketing and save you serious time and money. Okay. I mean, it's okay. It's good. But if I took the C.L.E.A.R framework and I did this, let's put in okay, I provide a suite of AI and automation services in one platform. All right, and I could say keep it brief, keep it fun, format preferences, use bullet points. Whoops, thought I was typing. Use bullet points. Include headline at the top. So we're going to do include subject line, preview text. I pulled from D's thing. I should have pulled the other one. Text, PS, and call to action. Of a discovery call. All right. And then fun and witty, expert advisors. And here's a cool thing you can do. If you know your hex colors, give the hex colors. If you guys don't know what hex colors are, that's the hashtag. So here's our colors, teal. And then I can say hashtag 23C2BD. Yes, I do have my colors memorized. The hex colors. Those are the web colors, right? And red, hashtag D2232A. All right. Audience, who's reading this? All right. Residential moving company owner. Getting very specific, right? I'm not just saying small business owners, right? I want to write this for the audience. Very important to know who you're writing to, right? And then their situation, I'll just leave this. And then I want them to book a discovery call. Right. So now, instead of this generic email, you don't need to hire, you need this instead. Save time, close more moves, and stop doing everything yourself. Seriously. Hi, first name. Running a moving company solo is tough. You're booking jobs, coordinating crews, following up leads, managing reviews, sending quotes, and that's before lunch. You need help, but hiring a full-time, so good news. So this is very specific of things that we can do in our system. Automated follow-ups, turn inquiries into bookings, smart scheduling with your calendar, review requests, text and email campaigns, AI-powered content creations. this, I would use this, right? Maybe we will use this for moving companies, right? I still put color notes for design. If I were feeding this into an email, and I was having email write it, it would put those colors in there. I forgot that we were doing the email, not the notes. So I really didn't need my colors there. But for the call to action button and key highlights and for urgency elements. So if we're actually taking this email and putting it into an email designer tool, like we have in Journey Builder or like MailChimp or Constant Contact or whatever it is you might be using, there's some suggested notes for design. So couple things. Thank you guys for showing up. If anybody has any extra questions, I'm happy to answer a couple more. I always say that we block till 12, an hour and a half for this. Everything is recorded. Everything will go up on YouTube. You will get a replay link. I'm going to double check here. I believe that you can register for next week's right now, but I want to test that. And we'll give you the registration. If you guys want to learn more about how we can use AI, or how you can use AI, right? Maybe you have a challenge. You're like, hey, Jay, I just want to use AI to do this, or I struggle with this, right? I offer a free 15-minute coaching call. It's quick. It's lightning round. It is not going to be some discovery call. It is not going to be a sales pitch. It's not going to be a demo of our platform. It is going to be, get on a call. I want to do this thing. And then I will take that information quickly and I will say, here's what I would do, right? Or here's what I would use, or here's how I would do this, right? 15 minutes. If it takes any longer than 15 minutes, it'll be your fault, right? You're keeping me on long. And if I really need to go, like to pick up my daughter, I will just click end call and we'll have a good laugh about it later and tell the story about the time I disconnected from the call because you were asking me too many questions on a 15-minute call. Yes, link for the next webinar, jtheaiguy.com/watch. Yeah, there it is. It's in the comments. If you want to go ahead and register for the next one, please do. Please, we'd love to have all of you come back, but all of them are being recorded. And I'm going to end with this. Last week, we talked about Notebook LM. Okay. Notebook LM. What I'm doing, and I'm not going to reveal this till the end. Like, we're going to do these webinars every Friday. So my goal is that after, say, 3 months, I will be able to provide you a master overview. I built a notebook. It's called Weekly Webinar Summary. And what I'm doing is I'm uploading into Notebook LM. This is bonus content, guys. This is bonus tip. There were 4 people that dropped off the webinar about 10 minutes ago, right? And they're not going to see this unless they go back and watch the replay. So the people that are still on the webinar are going to see what we're doing here. And I think this is probably give you a really good idea of how to use this in your business. Notebook LM, which is one of the tools we talked a lot about last week, and you can go back and watch the webinar on it. I am uploading the replays of each video. You'll see here, 1/9/2026, your first AI tech stack. It's a video source. I'm going to add this YouTube video, and then next week and next week and next week. And after about 12 weeks, I'm going to put it all together, ask it a bunch of questions, create a mind map, create a quiz and a slide deck, infographic, all the things that we can do in Notebook LM. And I'm going to build kind of a comprehensive overview of everything I'm teaching these first 12 weeks. And then to top that off, I mean, imagine where I could go with that. Then I could do the next 12 weeks, but then I can put them all together and have a 6-month recap, right? I'll be able to deliver it to you in a video, in a podcast, in a, whatever we want to do. Maybe I'll quiz you guys. Maybe I'll create a quiz and see how much you know about AI. So I think that'd be fun. So I have a lot of really cool things planned for this group. I have a lot of really cool things planned for these webinars, these workshops. Remember, next week, We're going to compare some of the biggest AI chat tools there are. The week after that is all about you and answering questions and recapping. There's a link to book a 15-minute quick coaching call with me in there. It's free. You're not requesting any more information on what we do. It's literally, I'm going to try to help you solve a problem. All right. Thanks, Mark. Thank you for jumping on. Go ahead and book that. Dan, thank you. We will see you back next Friday at 10:30. I appreciate you guys for jumping on. And if you need anything, and join the Facebook group too. I think the link went up for that a little while ago. Please join our Facebook group, and we're trying to grow that so that we can really bring AI to as many small business people as possible. Because guys, if you don't use it now, you're going to be left behind. People are using it left and right. There's so many ways. So, but we're just scratching the surface here, and that's what it's for. So Dick, thank you. Very cool. Thank you. D, thank you, Dan. All right. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you again next Friday. If I don't see you before then, if you're off on Monday, enjoy the holiday, and we'll see you next Friday. Take care, everyone.